If you're a new VA doing a little bit of everything, emails, scheduling, social media, research, whatever life throws at you, I need you to stop and watch this video. Because the number one reason most new VAs get stuck isn't their skills. It's that they've never picked a lane. So today I'm breaking down the top 8 highest paying niches in 2026 and exactly how to start in each one, even if you have zero experience. Oh, and one thing I'm genuinely excited about is that every single pay range I'm giving you today is a research-backed, pulled from current 2026 rate and salary data. These aren't just feel-good numbers that I made up to hype you up. They are real specialist rates that VAs are charging right now. And one more quick caveat is that these rates are not necessarily your starting rates. They are the rates that you will grow into as your experience grows. Niche number 1, digital marketing. This is one of the most in-demand niches right now. We're talking about social media strategy, SEO, paid ads, email marketing, and interpreting analytics. So why does this pay so well? Because marketing connects directly to the client's revenue. Once you show your results, the digital marketing specialists are landing around $30 to $55 an hour, with folks who have been doing this years going much, much higher. So here's how you can get started in digital marketing. Pick one platform. Could be Instagram, LinkedIn, email marketing, and go really deep on it. So get the free HubSpot marketing certification and offer to manage one client's account for a lower rate in exchange for a testimonial and results that you can share and show. Niche number 2, e-commerce management. So online retail continues to grow exponentially, and store owners desperately need help with things like product listings, inventory, order processing, and even customer communication. Platforms like Shopify, Amazon, and Etsy are constantly growing, and somebody needs to run the back end. And guaranteed, it won't be the creatives who are making the products. So pay-wise, e-commerce specialist VAs are pulling in anywhere from $25 to $55 an hour. And here's how you can start. Create a free Shopify trial account and learn how to do things like list products, process orders, and set up basic automations. You can watch YouTube tutorials on Amazon Seller Central. Then pitch small businesses that sell online. They are usually and especially drowning in operational tasks. Niche number 3, real estate VA. Real estate agents are some of the busiest, most disorganized professionals on the planet, and I say that out of love for all of my agents. But they need help with things like lead generation, CRM updates, property listings, appointment scheduling, and follow-up sequences. Rates range anywhere here from about $25 to $50 an hour, and transaction coordinators are on an even higher end. Here's how you can start. Learn one real estate CRM. Follow-Up Boss is a super popular one, and they have a 14-day free trial. You can spend 2 weeks understanding how MLS listings work, and then go into Facebook groups for real estate agents and read what they are complaining about. Niche number 4, financial and bookkeeping VAs. Now, numbers intimidate most people, which is exactly why this niche pays more. Or maybe that's just me. But bookkeeping VAs handle things like invoicing, expense tracking, reconciliations, and financial reports. Since financial accuracy directly influences business decisions, this niche typically earns higher compensation than general VA roles. I'm talking anywhere from $35 to $65 an hour. So how can you get started? First, you can start by getting QuickBooks Online certified. It is free through their Pro Advisor program and immediately signals credibility to clients. Start with small business owners who are managing their own books in a spreadsheet. That is your easiest entry point. Niche number 5, project management. Every growing business has more going on the back end than they can possibly track. So project management VAs keep the chaos organized. They create things like timelines and deliverables. They might even oversee team communications and hold everyone accountable to hitting their deadlines. Their structured oversight helps prevent delays, budget issues, and operational misalignment. Now there's a key phrase that businesses just love. This is one of the highest paying lanes on the whole list because specialists are going to land anywhere from $35 to $80 an hour. Here's how to start. Get the free Google Project Management certificate on Coursera. Then master just one tool. So pick something like ClickUp, Monday, or Asana. Pitch a small business that's currently running everything through email. You likely already know a small business like this in your own community and network. But this one project can become a long-term retainer. Niche number 6, content strategy and copywriting VAs. Now, content VAs do not just write blog posts, okay? They build systems. I am talking about editorial calendars, SEO strategy, conversion copy, performance tracking. These VAs get paid the most in this niche because they are the ones that show that their content actually drives results. And these folks are charging anywhere from $35 to $75 an hour. And here's how you can start. Get the free HubSpot content marketing certification and then pick a niche. Okay, this could be anything from writing content specifically for e-commerce brands or AAS, that's sales as a service company, or coaches. So generic writing portfolios do not stand out. So pick one sub-niche and stick to it. It would be even better if you did your own mock SEO and content strategy to add more credibility to your portfolio. Niche number 7, executive assistant VA. This is not only what I do, but it's one of the highest trust roles in the VA world because you're less of a task doer and you're much more of a chief of staff. Executive VAs support CEOs and senior leaders with some admin. So there will be calendar management, inbox control, and travel booking, but they also handle things like stakeholder communication, confidential documents, and even strategic planning on things like tech tools and platforms that align with your client's long-term goals. That trust factor is genuinely what drives the premium pay here, because the clients aren't just hiring your skills, they're hiring someone that they can fully rely on for flawless results and fast turnaround. And it shows up in the rates too, because these VAs are easily getting roughly $40 to $80 an hour. So here's how to start. This niche rewards professionalism above everything else. So work on things like your communication. It needs to be clear, concise, with no errors. Learn the tool that executives actually use. These are things like Calendly, Zoom, Notion, Outlook, Google Workspace. You want all of these basic bases covered, and then look for EA or remote VA roles with startup founders. Now, I recommend startups because these people are usually more accessible than corporate executives, and they often become long-term clients. Niche number 8, sales and lead generation VAs. Sales VAs are highly paid because of their work. It directly affects client income. So if you can do things like outbound prospecting, LinkedIn outreach, CRM management, and even lead qualification, base rates are going to sit anywhere from $25 to $50 an hour. So here's how to start in this niche. You'll want to start by learning tools like Apollo.io or even LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Both have free but limited trials. But if you can practice writing cold outreach that doesn't sound cold, then run a small 30-day lead generation campaign for a local business. And if you don't have a local connection, no worries. You can always run a mock trial. Choose a random niche, build a prospect list, and then simulate outreach so that you can test your process. Even modest results will give you proof of concept that you will be able to show future clients. And lastly, I want to say something important because I don't want anyone watching this to feel like they did something wrong. So starting as a general VA is completely normal. It's actually how most of us get started. It's how I got started. You take whatever work comes your way and you figure out what clients actually need. You learn the tools, you build your confidence. There is literally nothing wrong with that phase. Again, it's how many of us build our foundation. The problem, however, is when you stay there for too long. So when you're 4, 5 years into your career and you are still saying yes to everything, you're still charging the same rates, and still feeling like you could be replaced tomorrow by someone cheaper, that's where general VA stops being a launchpad. Your niche will usually find you before you find it. You will take on 5 different clients doing 5 different things, and I guarantee that one of them will click. The work feels easier for you. The client is happier. You find yourself looking up things just because you're curious, not because you have to. So you'll start getting rates without even trying that hard. And I want you to pay attention to that, because that feeling and those results, that is your niche talking. Like maybe you landed a client who needed help with their email marketing and you ended up going down a rabbit hole looking up sequences and open rates at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday because it interested you. That is not a coincidence. That's your niche. Or every time you get a project management task and you feel like you're in your element, like everything is organized, everything is on track, you just get it. That is absolutely your lane. And the practical move is this. As you're working with general clients, start tracking things that you enjoy, what gets you the best feedback, and what you find yourself getting better at, like without even trying. And after, I'd say 60 to 90 days, patterns will start to show up. Then you can make a decision and you can lean into that pattern. You can learn that thing deeper. You can position yourself around it. Okay, so you don't have to quit your general VA clients overnight. You just phase in. You pick up one specialized client in your niche and then you build a small portfolio. And you start describing yourself differently online, and slowly your client roster will shift. That is the real path for most VAs. It's usually not a super dramatic pivot. It is a pretty gradual and intentional lean towards something that already comes to you naturally. So recap, how the heck do you pick a niche? Well, one, it'll probably come to you naturally, but I have 3 more questions for you. What are you naturally good at? What can you see yourself learning for the next 2 years without wanting to quit? And what do businesses in your target market actually need help with now? And so you don't have to have this all figured out today, but you do have to start somewhere specific. So if you wanted to get going today, pick one niche from this list and spend the next 30 days going as deep as you possibly can on it. Like one niche, one certification if needed, and one type of client is how you stop competing on price, and it's how you start getting paid for your expertise and your results. So I'm super interested to hear, which niche are you learning towards? Okay, drop it in the comments. And if you want a full breakdown of how to build your VA career from scratch in 2026, be on the lookout for my program relaunches in August. Okay, you can get on the wait list for my blueprint at erinbooth.com. I have some extra goodies for you before launch, but I also have a free bootcamp if you're ready to get started ASAP. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on next week's video.